Welcome to my Skywars duels guide. The main issue with duels is that the best player always wins, but I'm not always the best player. So this is my tactic that wins about 80% of the time. Firstly, go on the grenade kit, which is an insane kit, aka the second tab, and then go on the second page of that and the creeper egg on the top row. This gives you 2 charged creeper eggs. So how can I use these to win? The usual issue with this tactic is that if you place them, people can just run away and kill them at their leisure, and the creeper won't actually get to explode and deal any damage. So here we're going to build a house. The house dimensions I like are a 4x4 inner area with walls 3 high. This makes it not look like too much like a trap, but it's also large enough that you can easily place your creepers and that people can't easily escape. Then you simply place the creeper, block to reduce a lot of the damage, and then wait for them to explode, one-tapping your opponent even if they luckily get full diamond armor at mid. So here you can see they would just go into the house, I block, and they get one-tapped. And there's not much they can do if they fall into it. So the question becomes, why do they fall into it? Well, firstly, because they don't really expect it. They think I have considerably better gear than me, which they do. So they're like, what will happen if I fall in? They don't realise that I'm actually going to place creeper kit. Perhaps they haven't seen this tactic before. Obviously, they haven't seen this tactic before. All of my opponents I've only beaten once of this, despite the fact that I have a reasonably large streak of a 12 streak by the end of the video, which is my longest ever in Skywars duels. So the size of the house is quite important. To make it too small, it looks too much like a trap. There's also the issue of having a roof, and if it's too big, it's a lot easier for them just to run away and block themselves off. So while you do this, you want to look as much like a noob as possible, like you don't understand how to play the game, and you're just building a house because you think that's a good idea. If they think they were good, they'll most likely go in with a more intelligent tactic, like by breaking down a wall, which makes it considerably weaker. If you are going against this, it's incredibly easy to win. I've just wait and just don't go into it, wait for dragons. That completely ruins the tactic. Or you can just drop lava or TNT on them, or you can just mine down a wall so you can run away if they place. That's the easiest way of beating this. So while actually doing it, you need to make sure that you look bad so that they want to go into it, but not too bad that they start trying to troll you using TNT and lava. In this game I made a big mistake of throwing eggs and the rod at them, making myself look a lot better and making them a lot more wary. Here I do create a small opening, given that they have an ender pearl, and I think that if the opening was too big, they could just ender pearl out when they see the creepers, and I'd lose. So I go in here and I try and wait for them. As expected, they come in, and I block it off completely. I think they're going to lava me, so I just need to hit them. Then for some reason they go in and I can creeper them to death. This, I think, is the game where I actually lose my win streak, and I'll go through it and explain what I did wrong and why I lost. So I set up the house pretty well. I build, I believe, the correct size. It's a 4x4, or it's a 4x3, sorry, it's a good size. 4 or 3 is good enough. And I have plenty of gear. Unfortunately, I don't get any healing potions or gapples, because that would have really helped me and probably would have allowed me to win. So you could argue that I lost because of bad RNG, but that's a bad argument. I built a 4 high one at the back so I don't accidentally get knocked down from the house, which has happened before, and I'd lost if that happened. So here they break in. If they break in, they could just run out really easily, which means I'd lose very likely, so I really don't want that to happen. Here I fail my creeper placements. If I didn't, then I would have easily won. As you can see, they were on 2 health at the end of the fight, and I could have saved at least 3 to 4 hearts, and I would have easily won that. So I'm quite surprised that the creepers didn't actually kill them. It was probably because they blocked. So if you block with your sword, it would reduce the damage considerably and would actually help you to survive. This is another example where I play this quite badly. So in this one I set up the house correctly. This is the correct size. but after that I began playing the game a lot worse. So I'm going to try to get them to come into the house, otherwise there's no way that I'm going to be able to kill them, because they'll just outgear me because they have got all of the mid gear. However, then this happens. I've sped up the video because this is quite long, and here they type in chat, and here I mess up. I type, "Do you like my house?" which is a complete mistake. Here they think that I am really bad. I want them to think I'm bad, but I don't want them to think that I'm really bad. Here I've got myself into a very bad situation. They're probably not going to come and attack me, and if they do, they'll do it unexpectedly whenever they get bored, and it's very difficult to predict when this will happen. So I'm really at their mercy. I need to somehow bait them into the house, which is quite difficult. I make a joke like, "Want to jump off now because I'm bad," but that doesn't seem to help me very much here. So now I'm in a really bad position. So I try to build them an even better bridge, I believe. Yep, there you go. I build them a very nice bridge that's really easy for them to come and attack me. I stand on the edge and then go into the house, and they get killed by the creeper, and I win. So they got bored and attacked me. Something that often happens here is I get hit over the back wall of my house, and then I lose, which is very sad. There are, of course, other ways to win. So here my opponent, after I built my house, bridges towards me. They do a very aggressive bridge. They want to win quickly. They've got just a little bit of mid-gear, not all of the mid-gear. So as you can see, they're slowly coming towards me. I built my house. They think I'm really bad, and so I just snowball them off for a very free win. This is towards the end of another game, and this is what happens when they really just never want to go for you. The game has lasted for ages, and the only chance is I go in and creep them. Have I completely misplayed this? I should not have hit them around the enchantment table. I should have tried to hit them into my creepers, then they would have exploded and probably killed them. So end up on them while they're distracted, for example crafting or enchanting, and that's really the only way that you're going to win. Of course, Skywars be Skywars, so there are of course other ways to win. Enjoy my winning montage.